Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MSNBC, my snarky news broadcasting channel. All of the news, none of the pants. My name, of course, is Antoine the Great, and I have been joined by my gorgeous co-host, one you can see on screen right now, the lovely Ishtar from her own Twitch channel, and right here on Help for the Guildless, where she plays Sarah on Army of Snarkness.
Hello, darlings.
And of course I've also been joined by Wren from Wren Relations and Shitlords Anonymous, where you can find her every Saturday, bringing you the best and most delicious cringe that I refused to watch after the first time I joined randomly and got shown someone who had 58,000 subscribers and speaking nothing but nonsense in a park.
You clicked the link. Yeah. You clicked the link.
Yes, I've learned.
Not my fault.
I have learned not to click random links from Wren.
They aren't bad all the time.
All I heard was, you know, crying and why from his office.
And the chat box is not working again because OBS is a piece of shit, so I'm going to fix that right now. So, how's it going, ladies?
Well...
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
It is cold. It is wet. I am not the thing that is wet. It's just cold and wet outside. I don't like it because it's April, and last year it was warmer than this time.
Oh, well, that seems like a problem.
I at least got the warm weather. Along with very... I also have kid in hospital, so... Balance is out.
Oh my goodness, I did not know that, darling. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's, he's finally getting a treatment we've kind of been pushing for a year. To,
So...
Yeah.
So this is a good thing?
It's a good thing, and as a parent, slightly worrying, but I'm holding down the home front with the one kid. He's got the other two, and fun Tetris with schedules for work, so additional fun there.
I definitely know how to do that after years of dealing with graveyard shifts. But it's never fun.
No.
So
Humor is fine, Raystone. Don't worry about it. It's no. They did not try to human sacrifice one of them.
Are you sure? Because I have an article about people being ritually buried.
what is it with you in articles about ritual burials? This is the third show in a row that you've had something to do. Are you trying to warn people about something?
No.
Alright, before we get this raucous party started, let's say hello to the chat. I see Anti-Hero Broadcaster's here. He was here first. He got to wait the longest. Congratulations. Mitzi is here, hoping to catch a glimpse of Ishtar's legs. Ghost Dog, how's it going? And who else do we have? We got Ray Stone in the chat. Nightbot is doing his job. That's good. Cinder Shadow, how's it going? Ben C. Zar. Damn Alien. Kate Shungi? How's it going, Kate? Cinder Shadow, I haven't even really thought about it. So I will I have no idea. When the set comes out, I'll fiddle with it and give you some ideas. Shut up, both of you. That's not anything that you need to worry about. And it looks like the minion is here.
Yes, the
Hello,
minion.
Igor.
The minion is watching.
And Ali is here as well. It's a full house. That's a good idea. That's a good thing.
Hi, Allie.
Well, Cinder Shadow, you don't actually pay me, so no. Well, we have some interesting stories. I know from what I've seen that I have quite a few from Florida. I know you have some very interesting ones, Wren. And Ishtar starts with just ritualistic sacrifices. I think she's trying to warn people about something, and I don't know what it is.
Oh, you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, she keeps walking around with this stylized dagger all day, mumbling something about Emotep.
That is female empowerment. It makes me feel sexy.
Female empowerment, alright.
All I need to do is put on some heels to go with it. And, yeah.
And maybe some rope for no apparent reason.
No, not the rope. Clashes with the heels.
Sure, rope does clash the heels.
She's not warning me, Zar, because Sarah would be very upset if she did anything to me. So.
Sarah can be bribed. And there's this Russian guy she likes, so...
Ray says, is it a stylized dagger or an Ishamatar? Oh, don't start right now, Ray. Jesus, give us a chance. So, alright, do we want to... Well, you definitely have a fan, Wren. Ali says every time you show up on screen, her drooling gets a little bit worse.
Yeah, but the thing is...
Why.
But the thing is Ali is, not all that selective. Mitzi, here you go. My legs.
That's not your leg, that's a foot.
Hey,
it's the best I can do from the angle that I'm at. I am only so flexible.
I don't know. I've heard some stories.
No.
Ray says I wasn't here the week before last, and you weren't here last week. That's because work kept us late. He says that's 2 weeks of pent-up humor needing to escape.
Yeah.
Alright, so I know, Wren, you have more than a few stories. Did you want to start us off?
Sure.
Alright.
You're welcome, Mitzi. Don't say I don't love you.
We will start... Well, you know, since we didn't have a show last week, I'll just go in a little harder than usual.
Oh, no.
We have a YouTuber who shares a video of himself kissing his sister.
Oh, you aren't holding back. You're just going straight for it.
Yes, I am.
You know, I only saw in the group DM, I only saw part of that title. It cut off right after KI, and I have to admit, my first thought was not kissing.
You were hoping it was kill.
Yes. My thought was some Florida man did something with murder. Would not have expected kissing.
Nope.
This isn't Florida Man, though.
This isn't Florida Man. This is from a channel called Prank Invasion, and it's run by a guy named Chris Monroe, and he's known for filming hilarious pranks. But
oh yeah, put pranks in quotation marks for that one.
But this prank isn't getting people to laugh. People don't see this as funny. The title of the video is called "Kissing My Actual Sister Prank."
Yeah, that's not a prank. That's telling something that you're gonna do.
He plays with his sister, and he basically talks into the camera about how, this is the beginning of it. He how he's been stalking his sister in the house for about an hour before confronting her. Very reluctantly, she agrees to play the game, and when she loses the game, they proceed to make out in a bedroom. They don't just kiss once, they kiss 3 times.
Is anybody else getting creepy stalker vibes off of this?
Are we sure it's his sister? Now, I agree with Ray. There are entire Pornhub stations devoted to sister kissing, and a lot more. But this is this dumb fuck has put on some horrible quote-unquote pranks.
Yes, and there are overwhelming assumptions that this woman was hired and not actually his sister. But there are some people who do believe that this is actually his sister, so it's kind of up in the air.
He is a flaming homosexual.
Takes one to know one? I don't
Yeah.
know.
This has
I
been...
mean, you're at least part gay. You can tell us.
That's why my gaydar is going off. This man is a
Yeah.
flaming homosexual.
Yeah. This video has been viewed over 1 million times and has 74,000 dislikes as well as 15,900 comments. Most saying they're not related, it's a joke, hopefully. Someone with a bit of hope there.
There's hope.
And a lot of people saying, gross, what's wrong with you, so on and so forth. And apparently
There are many things that are wrong with him.
Apparently this woman is his half-sister.
Well, that makes it half better, but not by much.
Still
Not
makes
by
me
much.
half right. Ha!
But it's still sister.
It's still creepy. Joey Salads, what have you become? I don't know if that's actually Joey Salads. I really don't care.
It's not going to correct yourself on that.
Who's Joey Salads?
Why am I not surprised you don't know?
Don't need to know.
Okay. If Wren says I don't need to know, I'm going to take her at her word and go, I don't need to know.
No, you don't need to know. Alright, do we want to jump into Florida Man, or do you want to do some science?
That's a question.
That is a question.
Alright, let's leave it up to chat then. 1 for Ishtar, 2 for me.
Oh, Allie,
One
no.
Christ.
It is the beginning of a porn. They basically made out.
Yeah, still.
All you're missing is the music.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sure there was music playing. Anti-hero, you only get 1 vote.
Oh, apparently he wants to hear me more than he wants to hear you.
What else? should I do?
Maybe I should use- Jesus Christ, anti-hero.
Well, that's 4
Maybe I should
ones.
use sexy voice.
Oh, you can use sexy voice. Alright, so science it is. Trace Clout says 7. So I guess that you and me combined a couple of times. What science did you want to regale us with?
The true identity of Antichrist is revealed after a professor uncovers the meaning of 666.
Look, I only said I was the Antichrist once. I didn't know he was actually a scientist.
Professor Kim Haynes Eitzen, an expert on early Christianity and Judaism at Cornell University in New York, believes the Bible's devil may not actually be a fork-tailed monster.
No shit.
Come on. Thank you for scrolling down. The true identity of the devil has been revealed according to an American professor. In the Bible's book of Revelation, the devil is described as a great red dragon with 7 heads and massive tail and 10 horns. Having smashed a third of the sun, moon, and stars out of the sky, The clumsy beast careers into heaven and sparks a great war with Michael and the angels. The terrifying monster is defeated, chained, and flung into the abyss below, where he is imprisoned for 1,000 years.
Only 1,000?
Only 1,000. As epic as this mythical interpretation may be, Kim Haynes-Eitzen, professor of ancient Mediterranean religions at Cornell University in New York, believes the true devil is less dragon than real-life historical figure. The early Christianity and Judaism specialists suggest the 666 number the beast is referred to in Revelation signifies the Roman Emperor Nero. Speaking to Morgan Freeman in his Netflix series, The Story of God, Professor Haynes-Eitzen noted 666 was the numeric Hebrew value for Nero's name. It is making a political claim about the cause of evil, or who is responsible for evil, she said. There is a strong argument to be made for 666 referring to Nero, the Emperor of Rome from 54 to 68 AD. A potential pitfall in this theory is that some Bible versions have 616 as the number of the beast. Sorry, I'm waiting for my...
Look, I just went and had a drink with her, and I told her the story about Nero. I was talking about Milo Yiannopoulos. She thought I was talking about the actual Roman emperor. She's not a good professor, so I don't know what she's talking about.
You might think that this number destroys the possibility that it could be Nero, Professor Haynes-Eitzen continued. What is striking about this is that it may help to confirm the identity of Nero, because this is the number you get if you spell Nero the Latin way, Nero Kaiser. The Roman theory is backed up in other sections of biblical text. In Revelation 2, John sends a letter to the church of Pergamum, warning that Satan lives among members of their congregation, that his throne is in their midst. Pergamum was the capital of the Roman province of Asia at the time, leading some scholars to conclude the throne either referred to an article dedicated to the Greek god Zeus, or a temple dedicated to the Roman Emperor Augustus.
Remind me not to get drunk and talk to professors at a college bar.
You really shouldn't get professors drunk at a college bar. Just in general, that's a good rule of thumb.
Why not?
Because they don't quite know how to handle it.
Oh no, she handled it quite well.
No, the alcohol. They don't always know how to handle the alcohol.
Oh.
His brain went somewhere else.
Straight to the gutter.
Well, talking about gutter.
Your turn. Did you guys enjoy Sexy Voice, by the way?
I know I did. I don't think Ali can type really well with one hand.
Allie, make sure to wash your hands before you start typing again, honey.
It's gonna get your keyboard all sticky.
Like her keyboard isn't sticky already.
Point.
Well, I have one way to dry her up.
Do you?
I do.
Are you sure?
Oh, they said that.
Positive?
She says that she had trouble hearing you. I'm thinking that's because she was moaning. So here, this'll help dry someone up. Florida man accused of firing pee-filled squirt gun at a woman.
Ew.
Gulfport. A Florida man with a trigger-happy finger was jailed over the weekend for filling up a squirt gun with his own urine and spraying it at a woman walking her dog. Gulfport police said in an arrest report that Joel William Benjamin, 71, approached the woman on Sunday and squirted her several times with a pee-filled plastic weapon. At least it wasn't a super soaker.
Boo.
Boo.
The report says Benjamin told officers he would do it again, but it was unclear what motivated the attack. He faces it was probably the meth. He faces a misdemeanor battery charge and left jail after posting a $500 bond. A lawyer for Benjamin wasn't listed on the jail records. Gulfport is near St. Petersburg, Florida's Gulf Coast.
Yeah, there's probably a very good reason why he didn't have a lawyer on tap. The lawyer was going, I ain't touching this level of crazy.
Nope. And did you see Sparky's comment there, Antoine?
Yeah, I didn't really want to say anything about it since I already know where my balls are. They're usually on his girlfriend's chin.
Oh.
How's it going, Vin?
Oh.
Someone decided to snap back. Hi, Vin.
Well, Sparky did start it.
True, Sparky did start it.
And, you know what? I'll continue with my next Florida Man story because it makes sense, because it's possibly something that I'm going to do to the robot.
Kinky.
No.
Ooh.
Florida Man explains why he buried his friend in the backyard.
That does beg a need for answers, yes.
Well, we can actually watch him give the explanation, or I can read it.
I don't have the video up right now.
Alright, I'll read it.
You're going to have to read it.
You'll read it.
Tampa, Florida.
It's being slow.
Your computer sucks.
Yes, it does. People, donate money to me so I can upgrade my computer.
Well, any super chats or Streamlabs that do go through this, Ishtar does get a portion of it. She gets a third. I actually pay my co-hosts, unlike a certain gorilla. A Florida man says he made a mistake after admitting to burying his friend in the backyard.
You think?
That's a little bit more of an oops.
It's just an oops. That's just a minor oops. I mean, you could totally accidentally bury your friend in your backyard. Totally.
It gets better. Palermo said his friend, who stayed with him off and on, died of a heroin overdose in his home. Palermo said he panicked because of a cop that was after him and later buried his body. I buried him right here, he said, standing in his backyard. Palermo said he was honoring his friend's wish. He jokingly said that morning while we were fishing that he wouldn't mind being buried in my backyard because it's so pretty. Police came to the property on a warrant to search his house for drugs. Palermo says officers believed he was making meth in his home, but he denies doing that. Of course he does.
Of course.
And here, I paid you last month for what we made on Army of Snarkness.
We get paid.
However, it wasn't long before Palermo told agents searching his home about the body. I did it. I made a poor choice. Should have called 911. Everybody said he was already dead, but I still tried to give him CPR for like 20 minutes. Palermo says he's not been arrested for anything, and the Orange County Sheriff's Office has not responded to a request for comment. Vin is asking how much you need, Ishtar.
I am about, I would say about 250 short of getting the processor and motherboard and RAM upgrades I need.
Sparky, we need to actually make money on Caffeinated for you to get paid.
Just get more entertaining, Sparky.
Ouch. I wasn't.
I am buying the parts myself, and then I have a friend who can put it together for me. I would get Sparky to do it, but Sparky is,
across the country,
several states away, and I want to actually have my computer, not have it gone for 2 weeks.
Oh, well.
Are you shitting me, Vin? Oh my gosh.
$150 from Vin. I'm 100 short, but here.
Vin, you are a darling. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Vin. Well, I guess we can appease Vin and do something cringeworthy.
Yeah, we can.
Do you have...
Bees or bad dream?
Vin, do you want bees or... Bees or what? Oh, bees... Yeah, Vin, bees or bad dream? You get to choose.
Boobs do help. Boobs definitely do help.
Boobs make it better.
You know what? I have 2 boobs on COD. It's you and Sparky.
Ben C, thank you for the $10. For your guys' information, those 3 Riley Dennis books that I mentioned last stream are part of a trilogy.
Part of a trilogy? Oh,
a
God.
Trilogy of books?
Alright, he said bad dream.
Bad dream. Oh, this one's... men, this will hurt you. Horrific pictures of a man who hacked off penis after woman demanded sex in dream.
How ugly was she?
But it was a dream.
Yeah, I know. How ugly was she in his dream?
I don't know. Why? But it was a dream, so why hack off? Why hack it off?
I don't know. Photos have emerged of a husband's gruesome injuries after he hacked off his penis following a dream. Wab Sadu. That's
not his name.
I
No.
don't try to pronounce it correctly.
His name is Wahab Saadu.
Okay.
You say it correctly. I don't have to try to pronounce it correctly. I just had to try to say it. 35 said he was fed up with women demanding sex from him in a dream. And in a dream, he chose to cut off his manhood.
He cut his manhood off in a dream, or was he out of the dream when he cut it off?
No, pictures have emerged that he cut it off.
He cut it off because he was sick of the women in the dream demanding sex. He carried his genitals to his neighbor's house in Alpa, Nigeria. Quote, prior to the incident, I had a dream in which 3 unidentified women appeared to me and ordered that I drink battery acid, which I did the following morning without the knowledge of anyone.
Oh, so he's insane.
Yes. 3 days after, I had another dream where the same woman ordered me to wake up and cut off my penis. It was after cutting it off, I regained consciousness. So I rushed home for an immediate remedy.
Or, you go to the doctor. Ali, in with a hot take, says he's brown, so I'm assuming he's Muslim, and he had a sexual dream about someone who wasn't his wife, so he decided to take care of it himself.
Yes.
Oof, Ali. Damn.
The distressed neighbor said, we were at home preparing for a day's work when Saadu came in with part of his manhood in his hand and blood stain over his trousers. That must have been quite the sight.
Well, it is blurred out, but there it is.
Yeah. He blames the handiwork of witches for his sudden actions in February. This is in 2015, but the images have only now come to light. So, it has happened.
Why only now?
I don't know.
It's this wonderful thing called the internet.
Yeah, but you would think that somebody would have nailed that early on.
You think. They come after a member of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. Yeah. cut off his penis because he wanted to concentrate on fasting program organized by the church. Astonishingly, the guy who did it so he can concentrate on fasting says he hoped it would grow back after fasting.
It doesn't work that way. See,
it's not a lizard's tail. It doesn't grow back, guys.
Yeah, but that's what led to these images starting to actually come to light now.
Good God.
So Ray says his name is now Wahab. The hell are you doing?
No shit.
And then he follows it up with, it seems that in Africa they have Nigeria man instead of Florida man.
Yes, they do. I'm sure in Africa it's like, what Nigerian man do now? Oh, it cut off his dick so he could fast, hoping it would grow back after he was done.
Yes, Ellie, he thought it would grow back.
Someone needs to redo his health studies. Because there's a teacher out there who failed their job.
It grows back, right? No. No, it doesn't.
Oh, dumbass. It does not grow back.
But he's also from a country that believes that witch doctor can summon lightning to smite their enemies.
Yeah.
Alright, Miss Ishtar, science is you.
Science is me. Let's see. Let's see.
Zar says that's an awkward time for my mom to come in the room.
Oh, poor Zar. Honey, what are you watching?
Yeah. Hi, Zar's mom.
Hi.
We're sorry. Ray Stone, that is a very good comment. He says, they did clone a heart with a 3D printer. Maybe custom cocks will be a thing in a few years.
Oh, God, I hope not.
Allie says, natural selection isn't working fast enough.
I think we scared off Zar's mom.
I'm sorry. Not really. Engineers just uncovered 26 ritually buried skeletons while digging a pipeline in England.
See, this is... She is giving everyone a message right now that
no, she's not.
Yes, she is. That she is
You're
a
reading
serious...
too much into it.
Look, I don't know why she has Opal on speed dial, but they have been talking a lot.
Okay. Opal and I have a deal. Okay? That's all you need to know about it, is that we have a deal.
Are you the reason there's always dead birds around her house?
No, I like birds.
I thought you liked cats.
Just saying. I like most animals. I'm just saying. Opal and I have an agreement.
Would you like to enlighten the rest of us so we know what to expect?
No.
If you knew what to expect, it would take all the fun out of the surprise.
God, we're all gonna die.
Engineers were... What are you worried about? You're supposedly invulnerable.
I still have to have people to talk to.
Tentacle puppets.
Tentacle puppets.
Yeah, they're like hand puppets, but you can use tentacles so you have more of them to talk to. Besides, I'll still be around. Opal will still be around.
Oh, yeah, because that's going to make me feel safer.
Hey, I'm pretty sure I'll still be around too, if she likes me.
This is true. We need eye candy, so Wren's still going to be around. You know, it's going to work out.
Yeah.
Just, don't make any long-term plans. Engineers were digging pits to lay a new water pipeline recently in the English countryside, but the pits were already occupied by the dead. According to a statement released yesterday, April 15th, from the British utility company Thames Water, a pipe-laying project in Oxfordshire has led to the discovery of 26 human skeletons, some of which are believed to be nearly 3,000 years old. The oldest skeletons are thought to date to the Iron Age, which lasted from the 8th century BC to the 2nd century AD, and experts from the local Cotswold Archaeology Heritage Society said in the news release, providing fresh insights into how local communities lived before the Roman conquest of Britain began in the 1st century. Some of the skeletons were buried in what appeared to be a ritual manner, as they show similarities to nearby Iron Age pit burials that might have involved human sacrifice, Cotswold Archaeology Chief Executive Neil Holbrook said in the statement. These pre-Roman communities are thought to be linked to the Uffington White Horse, a 360-foot-long prehistoric figure of a horse carved into a nearby hillside, Holbrook said. Among the skeletons in the new find, diggers also uncovered a trove of artifacts, including fragments of dwellings, pottery, cutting tools, animal carcasses, and a decorative comb, just for fashion. The skeletons and objects have been removed for forensic analysis so the pipeline project may continue.
So, Ray tweeted something out.
Aww.
It was actually this very article that he tweeted at you.
Oh. Handy.
She already beat you to the punch, Ray.
Thank you, Ray, for thinking of me. I do appreciate ritual sacrifice articles.
Well, who doesn't appreciate a good ritual sacrifice?
It makes her feel at home.
Something to do on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Bensi actually sent the link for the 3D printed heart.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to pull it up and see if... Here we go. Since this is a science thing, your computer is going a little slow, though.
Yeah.
Did you want me to read a little bit of it, or did you want me to just go on to Florida Man?
I'm fighting my way through it. Hold on. Working on it.
Oh, did you hear, Ishi? E.L. James wrote a new book.
E.L. James?
50 Shades of Grey.
Oh. What is it? Yet another twist on the original 3 stories?
Pretty much, only this time it's a lord and a musician with a dark past. That's the girl.
Alright, I'll send you the link, Ishtar.
Please. Ray Stone, Mitzi, holy crap.
$150 from Mitzi. No, I'm sorry, $150 Canadian from Mitzi. Get those computer parts.
You're a darling.
Good,
Thank
Mitzi.
you.
Extra head
You guys
pats.
are so sweet. I can now get my... Well, I have to share with Wren and Antoine.
Yes.
But I am much closer to getting my computer parts. You guys are amazing. Thank you. I'm trying really hard not to get all teary over here, so focus on Wren and her tits.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mitzi. So I was going to read some jokes. Zar wants to know, Sarah plays black when she plays MTG, doesn't she? Maybe Golgari or Orzhov. She doesn't know what those are, but she plays Merfolk. And Gates. And then Ray says, I just had a mental image of Ishtar cooking lobster. Most people just use a large pot, but she has candles, incense, and a skull. Where the hell did she get that?
No. I do not cook lobster. I read an article that may or may not be true, but it has freaked me out for the rest of my life, so I don't cook or eat lobster. Goat, probably a little more accurate. Chicken, always viable. Same thing with pork and beef. And the occasional slice of cake. That's always a good sacrifice.
The occasional slice of cake.
Yes.
Oh my god. The Riley J. Dennis thing is true.
You know what? I have a feeling he's going to make me...
Are you gonna send me the link?
I sent it to you in Discord.
Oh, I don't have Discord up. I have Twitter up.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll send it on Twitter.
Discord's too distracting.
It says the woman who routinely plays Minecraft during the show.
What are you talking about? No one does anything other than concentrate on the show, right, Ishi?
Uh-huh. Total focus.
Mm-hmm.
Vin, I found it in a thrift shop.
Alright, send it to you on Twitter.
It's a tiny little heart. Oh, you sent me a DM? Okay, I will pull up Discord. Just give me a few minutes. Because my computer is fucking molasses right now.
Did you ever see Major League where Pedro Serrano wasn't allowed to sacrifice a chicken, so they gave him some KFC and it didn't work? Yes, I love Major League. The first and the second one were great. See you later, Anti. The first and second one were good, the third one was shit.
Look, Jamesy gets it. Minecraft is an important part of any show.
Especially if they have boobs.
Yes. Boobs to make it better.
Yep.
Did you get the article?
I'm pulling it up now.
Okay. Well, that could be the next one you do. I'll jump onto some Florida Man. There we go. Alright. That's kind of a large... I have one that will appease Jade's sensibilities.
Oh?
Yes.
There are really only three ways you can do that.
Oh, this one, it involves cars.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll do it.
And it involves what happened to you today, too.
Oh, shit. You know, it's your fault.
Florida man driving at 100 miles an hour tells cop the car is a Ferrari and it goes fast. Passenger gets him in even more trouble.
I was not going 100 miles an hour.
A Florida man who told police he was speeding because his sports car goes fast was hit with a felony charge this weekend after a passenger in the vehicle claimed he had ignored the patrol car siren and an in-pursuit deputy. He had ignored a patrol car siren of an in-pursuit deputy, the local police department had said. Gabriel Molina, age 29, of Miami, was behind the wheel of his 2016 Ferrari and reached speeds of 100 miles per hour, while allegedly fleeing from Upper Keys Police Sergeant Robert Dosh on Sunday. According to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, which released a statement yesterday on Facebook, because of course they did, Dosh was at mile marker 87 at 2:13 a.m. when he was told a vehicle had been seen driving recklessly, traveling southbound at a high rate of speed. Most people would call that, low flying. The Ferrari zoomed past the sergeant at roughly 75 miles an hour, but accelerated to 100 miles per hour after an officer activated his lights and siren. Because Grand Theft Auto is a thing.
Yay!
The speed limit in the area is between 45 and 50 miles an hour. For most people, if you don't know, if you go 20 miles over the speed limit, it is usually a federal offence. So going double is a bit much. As Dosh radioed other deputies to report the Ferrari's location, Molina allegedly turned off his driving lights. He was captured after stopping at a nearby gas station. The police department release said Molina was standing in front of the Ferrari and there was a female in the passenger seat.
A female?
Yes, a female. It might have been Jade. We don't know.
If it was Jade, she would not be in the passenger seat. She'd be driving, and that cop would never have caught her.
The suspect allegedly admitted to speeding, but denied intentionally fleeing from the police officer. According to the department, Melina said the car's a Ferrari, and it goes fast.
It does.
Despite his story, police said the female passenger admitted Melina had seen the sergeant's lights and heard the siren. She claimed she had told the driver of the Ferrari to slow down. Melina was taken into custody without further incident and transported to jail. The female passenger in the car was not charged. Inmate records posted online by the Florida Police Department confirmed Melina is now facing one felony count of fleeing and eluding a law enforcement officer with their lights and siren active. His job was listed as manager, and his arraignment was scheduled for May 7th. According to the Miami Herald newspaper, the driver has been issued 9 traffic ticket violations spanning from 2013 to this year. In one, he was caught speeding at 100 miles an hour in a 55-mile-an-hour zone, it reported, adding that he has paid more than $2,000 in speeding-related fines to date.
I am not now, nor have I ever been that bad. Good night, Allie.
Have a good night, Allie.
And Jamesy brings up a good point. No purr.
They weren't requesting a purr.
That's true. They were requesting me to get computer parts.
True. But shouldn't they get a purr as a nice thank you?
No.
I can purr, but it's not as good as his.
I know. I'm trying to get him to purr for us.
You're going to give Mitzi ideas.
There you go. It's the best I can do for you.
There are three people who donated. None of them asked for purrs. If they ask for a purr, I will purr.
Antoine. That's a long pause there. He's making a face.
Yes, he is.
Sarah Twan. That's a... Oh, God. We... Alright, so let's move on to some cringe, shall we?
Alright. We will go to, oh, the purring. I might as well go to this one. A vibrator that is also a statement ring.
No. I've
Okay.
seen that. It does not look like a statement ring. It looks like a vibrator on your finger.
But apparently you can wear it.
And apparently use it!
And use it for its intended purpose. It only costs $130.
Only $130! Oh no! Whatever shall I do?
It's a perfect steal.
I could spend that $130 on something else.
You know what?
Yes.
If you were going to spend $130 on a vibrator, I would get one of those Hitachi ones that apparently have every known attachment under the sun and could probably make Mother Teresa from the grave have an orgasm.
No. You want to get the ones that actually hook up, can sync up to music. So that way you can have fun with it, where someone just puts on techno music.
It vibrates to the beat.
Ooh.
Ray Stone says, in the 70s, they had mood rings. Now they have get you in the mood rings.
Yes.
Ba-dum-bump!
Vibrators.
That's good.
This is the article reading. Vibrators, as someone who dedicates a full under-the-bed drawer to them. Jesus Christ, how many does this one own? While my actual clothes don't fit in the closet. Priorities.
Her clothes don't fit in the closet.
But this woman takes up a full under-the-bed thing for toys.
She doesn't have much in the way of an attention span, does she?
Well, she
No.
believes in something called the orgasm gap, so I'm assuming not.
Or doesn't get laid. are worth treasuring. They can close the orgasm gap with help with sexual discovery, and straight up make sex so much better for so many people.
There's no orgasm gap. Well, no, I take that back. Yes, there is.
According to you, there is.
There is. There is an orgasm gap. Men do not have as many as women.
That's because you're a one and done most of the time.
Yeah.
And I say you as men in general, not specific men.
Men do usually only get like one shot and they need a break. Women can keep going.
Yeah.
God damn it, Vin. Don't you know not to give in to Anubis?
Vin donated, and Vin asked, and you did say...
Her.
And it has to be a good one. My neck's all tingly now.
Yeah. See? Purring does good.
Alright, continue with the woman who has more vibrators than she does shoes.
Yes. And while so many come in cute, sleek designs now, they're still often designated to hidden spaces, like a shadowy corner of a nightstand or buried in a bag and shoved underneath the bed. Some are even banned from tech award shows. But if the goal is for people to be less ashamed of using them, shouldn't vibrators take center stage once in a while? Enter Unbound's new vibrating statement ring, the Palma.
Oh, God.
Really?
The Palma?
Yes.
The Palma!
And of course, by enter, I mean shimmying through the curtain while holding a high note in steady jazz hands. This baby is a star.
What? No.
It comes in an engagement ring box.
Yes, it does. It comes, first off, the Palma comes in gold and silver, arrives nestled in a geometric box which lights up when you charge it, complete with a nifty little drawer to store your USB cord, storage pouch, and instruction manual. Like a mini Broadway production, you have an overdramatic overture to prelude whatever sexual activity awaits you.
Now I understand why it's $130. The majority of it's the packaging.
Yes.
The actual piece is probably like $50.
Like, because the look of it, it's like this part gets me, because this is not true. But just because the Palma looks like a divine sex toy doesn't mean it is one. AKA, good God, this thing is quiet. So
no vibrators are quiet.
Most vibrators are. Very few are noisy. And the noisy ones are surprisingly, they can be good, but they're noisy.
Well, when you have to pull a string to get it to start, it better goddamn work.
If you have to floor mount it, it is in fact going to make a little bit of noise.
Yes.
Is that a generator? No, that's my sex
My
toy.
vibrator. It's floor mounted and diesel powered.
Even in the most intense vibration, which I can tell you is strong enough to keep your underwear on and still orgasm, any roommate would have to invest in FBI-level microphones to hear a peep.
Not if you're orgasming.
If you're doing it right.
Yeah. She clearly isn't doing it right. This is a big deal considering the best sex toys, especially the adorable ones. Okay, adorable and sex toy don't go in the same sentence.
You don't like the ones that look like dolphins or bunny rabbits?
I once saw on TV a dildo that had been shaped like a cat, with its head resting on its paws.
I know, but adorable and sex toy. It takes it. No,
What about the one that looks like Barack Obama?
nope.
Raystone, one of those vibrators that violates the Paris Accords. I wanted to get off, but I couldn't afford the coal to fire up the power plant.
Ben C says, don't forget you have to prime it 3 times, mix gas and oil, then you pull the start for it to vibrator to work. Alright, continue on, Wren. This is ridiculous.
Yes, but yeah, but this queen, who, by the way, absolutely has the range. The first 3 settings, which you toggle by hitting the button underneath the ring, that seems like a pain in the butt, goes from the least to the most vibrations. But when you have the setting number 4, which gently increases and decreases the vibes based on how you tilt the ring, that's too much work.
It's got a gyroscope in it?
Yes.
That is far too complicated. I don't know about you, Wren, but if I'm gonna pull out a little vibrator, I want it to just do the job with as little brain power as possible.
Hitachi wand. Even Hitachi wand knockoffs are just as good. Hitachi wand. It's easier. Because look at the picture on the hand. That is clearly a vibrator.
Like I said, I've seen that thing. It is not a ring. It doesn't even look like a ring.
It goes on the finger. It must be a ring.
No, it's a toy. And of course, listen, of course, wearable vibrators already exist as playfully discreet sex toys, and those are great. But to get someone to go out in public with a vibrator on their finger, the way they would with lacy lingerie under a sweater, you have to make them feel comfortable doing it. It's entirely their little secret until it isn't, when they reveal it during their dinner date as a wink to what may go down later. That might be the only time you could wear that out.
So, look at this. There's this little poll. Would you wear a secret vibrator? Heck yes, or maybe, but only if you reassure me for the 50th time that it won't turn on by accident. This is not a real poll, because both of them are yes answers.
Exactly. Because here's the thing. We've all heard horror stories of women who bought that discreet lipstick vibrator that looks like a lipstick, only to have someone grab it
and try and use it as lipstick.
Yeah.
Wrong lips.
I see nightmares for some women of, like, someone touches the ring the wrong way and it starts vibrating, and then your office understands.
Your office understands the moment they see it.
Yeah. And they go,
this is not hidden.
It's not. You should not wear your sex toys in public. It's as stupid as that silver bullet necklace that's a vibrator. No one should see what you use for fun. It stays separate.
It's not an embarrassment thing. This one is... It's... For a lot of people, masturbation is private.
Yes.
It's something you do to yourself.
In the comfort of your own home with candles and nice music.
Raystone says, it's the one ring, my precious.
My precious. Yeah, no. The only sex toy you should be wearing out in public is one of those panty vibrators that no one knows about.
Yeah. And then just hope that only the significant other or boyfriend or whatever has the remote and no one else gets it.
Could you imagine how funny it would be? 2 people go out to a party, they both have the panty vibrators, and the signal or whatever for the remote gets crossed.
Oh, no, worse. Could you imagine, like, this 27 Dresses, the scene where the little boy gets the remote and keeps pushing the buttons?
Mm-hmm.
it's like that is my nightmare for like that would be like kid starts pushing buttons. It's like and I go out in public with the minion. I just sex toys are different than people. You can bring it.
Minion, you need to get her panty vibrator.
He wants to get one. The only reason it hasn't happened is I'm terrified the kids would get a hold of the remote. And then that would be awkward.
Ben C says, Mommy, the TV remote won't work.
Mommy, the TV remote's not working. Oh,
No, the TV remote's working just fine, kids. Turn the volume up a little bit more.
Ray Stone says, what if the signal got confused with the garage door opener? Hey, the Johnsons are here. In the background, low moaning. Oh, God. Alright, did you want to read that Blaze article? Get us out of the... Yeah, get us out of the gutter.
But the gutter's so much fun.
We will probably get back to the gutter. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Especially with one of your science articles that involves farting, which you do have to read. It's in the title.
Right. Okay. Come on. Hold on. I'm waiting for the webpage to decide it's actually going to function. My computer is so slow.
You know, if you have ad block, it helps.
I may have to get it.
It takes like 30 seconds to download an ad block for your browser.
Okay, fine. After the stream. Scientists create the first ever 3D printed heart with human tissue. Experts hope it could lead to personalized organ transplants. The tiny heart has blood vessels, ventricles, and chambers.
It's so tiny, look at it.
I know, it's like a little EB.
Itty bitty heart.
It's an uwu heart.
It's a what?
Uwu. You know that, the circle, W circle? The O-W-O, it's pronounced uwu. It's an anime, it's an anime thing.
Oh, okay.
And an ethot thing.
A team of Israeli scientists on Monday unveiled the first ever 3D printed human hearts, the Jerusalem Post reported. Researchers at Tel Aviv University printed the tiny vesicularized heart in about 3 hours using cells and biological material from a patient. This is the first time anyone anywhere has successfully engineered and printed an entire heart, replete with cells, blood vessels, ventricles, and chambers, lead researcher Tal Devere of the Tau School of Molecular Biology and Biotechnology said in a release. People have managed to 3D print the structure of a heart in the past, but not with cells or with... The stupid thing needs to load so I can scroll down.
But not with cells or blood vessels.
Yes.
While you're waiting, Ray says there was an episode of Star Trek about replicated, Star Trek's version of 3D printing, organs being tested. We beat those fuckers by 300 years.
Yes, we did.
We are... He says, do you know what this means? It means we are one step closer to using Napster to download actual celebrities. Do people actually still use Napster? Is this still around?
It's still around, but I think it's a paid thing now. It's nowhere near what Napster used to be.
This heart is made from human cells and patient-specific biological materials. In our process, these materials serve as the bioinks, substances made of sugars and proteins that can be used for 3D printing of complex tissue models, Devere said. It's completely biocompatible and matches the patient. While the 2.5 centimeter sized heart is too small for a human, the researchers believe it puts them a step closer to creating personalized organs for those in need of a transplant. Personalized organs would be more easily accepted by the body. The method we have developed will allow us in the future to print a heart of any size required from the human tissue of patients themselves. Come on. Scroll down. This page is taking forever to load. Just so everybody knows that. Why did you send me something that's going to take forever to load?
Why don't you... Do you want me to finish reading it? meaning the body will not reject it.
Thank you.
In fact, this method allows us to print any organ that is required for a transplant, and we believe that this method opens the door to future technologies, which will make the need for organ donors completely unnecessary. How did they do it? I know you all are desperately asking. The researchers took a fatty tissue biopsy from the patient and separated the cellular and non-cellular materials according to the study. Then the cells were reprogrammed to become pluripotent stem cells, the extracellular matrix that was processed into personalized hydrogel that served as the ink for the printer that printed the heart. What's next, you may be asking? Well, the hearts need to learn how to beat and pump like human hearts before they can be tested on animals and eventually in humans. Printing a human heart would require billions of cells and could take a full day to print, DeVere said according to the Post. DeVere hopes that within the next decade, there will be organ printers in the finest hospitals around the world, and these procedures will be conducted routinely.
Nice.
Does that mean replacement livers?
Yes. Ray Stone says, I love modern technology. The 3D printed heart won't reject me like my family did.
Ouch.
No, we can't take them from death row inmates. This is really good. This is a really good thing. One of the major problems with transplant lists is that there's not enough people that are donors. Well, when you don't need a fucking donor, you just need yourself, you don't have to wait forever for a transplant. It can be done in a day. Organ replacement will become an outpatient surgery, just like plastic surgery. We are one...
Ben C wants to know how long till they do 3D printed penises.
Oh, they have those already. They're called dildos.
I think he means like the heart.
Oh, real penises. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this is the type of science that we like hearing about, not 76 different genders that don't exist.
Yep.
But
That's
this
not
is
science.
No, that's a fad. But think of that. Organ transplants. That means heart disease will no longer be the #1 killer of people around the world. Liver cancer, prostate cancer, lung cancer, all of those things can just be taken away. Your lungs are bad. Okay, we'll make you new ones.
It's like, this liver's not doing so good anymore. Can I get another one, Doc?
And the fact that it won't be rejected because it's your own cells is even better, because that's another problem with transplants. The transplants sometimes, even if it's a match, do not take, and then the person ends up rejecting the heart or the liver or the kidney or whatever, or the spleen or whatever it is, and they end up having to go back on the list. So this is good. This is good things. This is perfect. Keep working on that. In a decade, when it's perfected, no more heart failure. Maybe AP could use one. You think he could last 10 years?
I don't know. His current one's trying real hard to give out.
Raystone brings up another good point. Lo-Fi could grow herself a uterus.
You know, I like Lo-Fi. The thought of her breeding terrifies me.
Oh, but I think she'd make a great mommy.
Yes, we need more people throwing axes at random people for no reason.
Yeah.
What, is she gonna have a kid with a beard barian?
Yes?
Now I'm never sleeping again. Thanks for that one, Wren. That's
She'd be able
appreciated.
to. That child would be able to throw an axe like a fucking homing missile.
Ray Stone goes, "Welcome to the Adonis Paul Memorial Hospital for Organ Transplants." What? AP died? No. Well, most of him did. They just kept regrowing him.
He has the regrowth thing. He has his own. He just regrows whatever organ he needs.
Alright. Okay. Now, Ishtar, you and Sarah share something in common.
Do we?
Bananas.
We both hate bananas.
You think they're obnoxious.
They're horrible fruits.
We're not talking about Milo Yiannopoulos. We're talking about bananas.
Yes, I know they're horrible fruits.
Okay. She doesn't know who that is. God damn.
I know who it is. I'm ignoring you.
Oh, okay. Well, would you... So, how... Yeah, I'm still having trouble finding out how you think bananas are obnoxious.
I have given you the rant repeatedly.
Yes, but that's a rant. That's not a good reason that a fruit is obnoxious.
They're mushy.
It doesn't have personality.
Flavor is flat. It goes bad almost over goddamn night after you take it home. It's not good for anything. It's far too much work to even get into the fruit.
It's a very good source of potassium.
I don't give a shit.
All right. Well, would you say that you would eat a banana if you had to belligerently?
How do you belligerently eat something?
Well, that's a really good question that I would really want to know, and we have someone we can ask.
Let's ask them then.
Florida man arrested outside Olive Garden after eating pasta belligerently.
Read that one more time.
Florida man arrested outside Olive Garden after eating pasta belligerently.
Okay.
Real quick. Late, great Mitch Hedberg, who's a comedian, said bananas are the opposite of stoplights. Stoplights, green means go, yellow means slow, red means stop. But bananas are green means stop, yellow means go, and red means, where the fuck did you get that banana?
Go back to the Florida man and explain belligerent eating.
Okay. Naples, Florida. A drunk Florida man was arrested outside Olive Garden after eating pasta in an inappropriate manner.
Unless he was eating it like like Animala on Lost Skeleton of Cadabra, there's not a whole lot of inappropriate ways you can eat.
I'm thinking he used it more as a suppository.
Okay.
According to the Miami Herald, officers with Naples Police Department were dispatched to the chain restaurant around 3:30 p.m. Sunday regarding a disturbance.
Ooh.
A man was reportedly asking restaurant patrons for money and yelling at them using explicit language. When police arrived, they discovered a shirtless man sitting on a bench outside the establishment. The man was allegedly shoveling spaghetti into his mouth with his hands. The man, identified as 32-year-old Ben Paget, was placed under arrest for disorderly intoxication, according to the newspaper. However, before being placed in handcuffs, officers gave Paget a paper towel so he could wipe the pasta off his face. The Herald also reports while in the back of the police car, Paget began violently twisting his body, kicking his legs, and smashing his head against the metal cage partition. Paget was transported to Naples Jail Center. He reportedly faces additional charge of resisting an officer without violence and was released on a $2,000 bond.
So, belligerently eating something is to use both your hands to do it. Is that what I'm getting here?
That's kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I would not eat a banana like that because it would just look like I'm giving the banana a blowjob.
Ray Stone says, I've heard of money shots, but this guy had a penne shot.
Oh.
Boo!
Oh, dude.
No!
I love you, Ray.
That's just...
It's bad.
Why do we like you sometimes, Ray? Just asking.
Alright, let's move on to some cringe, shall we?
All right. Since we're going stuff with the title, man sues parents for destroying his $29,000 porn collection.
If he spent $29,000 on it and his parents destroyed it, he has every right to be fucking pissed.
Ray Stone says, "Is that Alfredo on your face?" I think his name was George.
An Indiana man is suing his parents for a pretty ballsy act, destroying his very valuable porn collection.
Ba-dum-bum.
The man, who's been identified only as Charlie, claims the porn stash had an estimated value of $28,940.72.
Okay, hold on. That's a very specific number. That's not an estimate.
Yeah.
An estimate is the $29,000. This motherfucker had it categorized and cataloged.
Yes. This included more than about 400 VHS tapes, more than 1,600 DVDs, 160 plus CDs, and 70 sex toys.
What were the CDs? What the
Files?
Files, made porn games. I don't know.
Keep reading.
Okay. Charlie is seeking a total of $86,822.16, which includes the value of missing items and the amount it would cost to replace them. Some of the films worthy of inclusion included Frisky Business and Big Bad Grannies.
Wow.
Things came to a head this week, after Charlie filed a lawsuit against his parents. According to the court documents, he moved into his parents' home in Grand Haven, Michigan, in October 2016 while going through a divorce.
Gee, I wonder why he was divorced.
Although Charlie stayed with his parents for about 10 months, he was asked to leave in August 2017 after what the TV station termed a domestic situation. A few months later, the parents traveled to Indiana to drop off their son's possessions, but didn't include his massive porn collection.
What did they do? Donate it to charity?
Nope. That aroused Charlie to file a police report about the trash porn collection with the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office, but the prosecutor declined to file charges against his parents. A month after filing the police report, Charlie sent an email to his dad explaining the situation. Quote, "If you had a problem with my belongings, you should have stated at the time, and I would have gone elsewhere. Instead, you chose to keep quiet and behave vindictively." According to the lawsuit, the father responded saying he was doing his son a favor. Quote, "Believe it or not, one reason for why I destroyed your porn was for your own mental and emotional health," he said. "I would have done the same if I had found a kilo of crack cocaine. Someday I hope you will understand."
No.
Self-righteous old fart.
Yeah, no, motherfucker. You gave up. You burned $29,000 worth of porn.
And sex toys, and who has VHS porn? And yes, Cinder Shadow, apparently porn equals gateway drug now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow.
Ben C says, "Can you imagine that in the divorce papers they had to argue over who got half the porn collection or the whole porn collection?" Like I said, I think that's the reason he was divorced.
We don't know. All I know is it sounds like vindictive parents going, "Porn is a gateway, so we're going to destroy it so you can't watch it." Hint to those parents. Pornhub is a thing.
I mean, this guy he was fully grown, old enough to be married and divorced, and his parents still treated him like he was 16 and found with a Playboy.
Yes, only $29,000 worth of a Playboy.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Just wow.
Oh, and apparently, Cinder Shadow saying apparently VHS tapes of porn are actually quite valuable for some of them.
Collectible things, or of stars who are no longer in the business.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Autographed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think.
I actually got an autograph from Ron Jeremy once.
Did you wash your hands?
It was a DVD he autographed.
Did you wash your hands?
Yes.
Did you sterilize your body?
No. There was a picture and everything.
You know, he actually ran for California governor.
He is not a tall man.
No, he's not. That's why his nickname is the Hedgehog. He's short, fat, and hairy.
Yep. But seemed pretty nice.
Oh, he's a nice guy. He's a genuine guy.
I expected him to just be a little taller than me.
No, like I said, he's the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
He's short, fat, and hairy. He's also the one that's in the suit in the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie, for any of those who want to know.
Good to know.
It's a completely different type of Sonic.
Yes, it is.
That's not the one you show your kids.
No.
Speaking of porn and family, I don't know what the congressman's name is. But did you guys hear about the congressman that took his mother to see Deep Throat?
No.
What?
Yes. It's not like, hey mom, let's go watch Deep Throat, let's go watch a porn together. It was, she made him dinner. Like, he was a little bit older, she made him dinner. And he just, as a nice gesture, he was going to go see it with his friends. Now, if you remember, Deep Throat actually had a big screen debut. It's not XXX, it's only rated X, and that was back in the day when they showed X-rated films in actual theaters. So he and a bunch of his friends were going to go, and as a nice way of putting it, he asked his mom to come along, and she said yes. So there he was, sitting watching Deep Throat with his mother and his friends.
That sounds uncomfortable.
And he wants to be president.
No.
At least he was trying to be nice to his mom. Maybe
but
not the best way to do it. You get her flowers. But at least he was trying.
That's up there with the guy on American Idol who did the Marvin Gaye song and dedicated it to his parents.
Ben C says, I can see the congressman's mother looking at the screen and going, you're doing it wrong.
Oh.
Alright, Ishtar, you have a particular one from the Mirror that's in the title.
Damn it.
You should probably read that one.
Yeah, but I just grabbed a pretzel to eat. Why holding a fart in is seriously bad and could emerge from your mouth instead. By holding a fart in, the gas gets reabsorbed and comes out elsewhere. If you've ever doubted the age-old better out than...
Wait! That picture! That fucking picture!
Which one?
The one of the dude in the middle with the smile on his face and the other two people sitting inside of him.
Yeah, that's how you know it's bad.
It's like the driver who's got the biggest grin on his face and all his friends are trying to roll down the windows.
How's it going, Tom? Don't worry, you missed you missed a YouTuber kissing his half sister. You missed the no longer organ transplants no longer being a problem. You also missed the ring vibrator. So
Ritual sacrifice.
And you also missed ritual sacrifice and the guy who cut off his own penis because of a dream. So you're coming in at one of the easier articles. Deal with it.
Yup. If you've ever doubted the age-old better out than in wisdom, now is the time to stop. While breaking wind may be the sort of thing you prefer to do without an audience, this isn't always practical or possible. We're not suggesting you make a point of letting rip during a job interview or your grand's 90th birthday party, but holding a fart in could be doing you more harm than good. In fact, by holding a fart in, there's a good chance you may breathe it through your mouth instead. Yes, really. According to Professor Claire Collins, a nutrition and dietetics expert at the University of Newcastle, entrapped wind may cause abdominal distension, with some gas reabsorbed into the circulation and exhaled in your breath. In a piece for The Conversation, she also warned that holding it in is actually futile. Holding on too long means the buildup of intestinal gas will eventually escape via an uncontrollable fart. Not only this, but you could end up with a condition called diverticulitis, which is where small pouches develop in the gut lining and become inflamed. However, she did point out that more research was needed into this. What's important to remember is breaking wind is completely normal and natural. Our farts also come courtesy of different sources.
So Ben
Some
says,
happen because it's...
Ben says, remember, it's better to burp and taste it rather than fart and waste it.
Ugh.
So you can light your burps, Bender cosplay, here I come.
Finn says, so this gives a new reason for people to say your breath smells like shit. Some happen because of swallowing air, or as Professor Collins explains, from carbon dioxide produced when stomach acid mixes with bicarbonate in the small intestine. Or gases can be produced by bacteria that are located in the large intestine. Her advice, if you need to break wind in public, try to make it to a toilet. But if that's not possible, just let it go.
Is that what Elsa was singing about?
Yes.
No.
Then the Shadow wants to know if you take a breath mint and if you use a breath mint as a suppository, does it clean your mouth out?
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it works.
Well, with some of the blue check marks on Twitter, they definitely talk out their ass enough, so it might as well. Alright. So, I have... Since we're doing the ones in the title, do you all remember when Mad Metal Man was in the chat that one time? He was talking about his army of turtles.
Yes.
Yes.
I think I found an actual picture of Mad Metal Man because I think we have this. I think he got caught.
Oh, really?
I mean, it would be why we haven't heard from him in a while.
I just thought Opal would decided to tie him up and hide him in her dungeon.
It is possible. And as Ray Stone says, it is also possible that King Koopa has actually come from the Mushroom Kingdom to take over the world. But Florida Man threatens to destroy everyone with an army of turtles.
At least it's creative.
It is a creative way of doing things.
Brevard County, Florida. A Florida man is awaiting trial after screaming obscenities and threatening to destroy everyone with an army of turtles, according to police. Thomas Devaney Lane, 61, was jailed in Brevard County facing multiple charges of breaching the peace, misusing 911, and resisting an officer without violence, according to Brevard County jail records.
Uh-huh.
Lane was yelling obscenities constantly, calling himself the Saint, saying his turtle army will destroy them, and stating they would all see what would happen in an hour, police in Atlantic, Florida said. Atlantic is near Melbourne. Police there say they received 7 calls about a man disturbing the peace Sunday, April 7th, at 3 different locations. At some point, Lane even entered the police department and proceeded to yell at the dispatcher while pounding on the walls and glass, according to the arrest report. He left the building but called 911 while at 7-Eleven and again threatened the dispatch officer. The police report states he told the dispatcher over the phone that I needed to leave now or you will all be sorry. Sorry you fucked with the Saint. Lane was later found in his car but refused to get out while yelling obscenities and screaming about how his turtle army would destroy us. He was forcibly removed and arrested.
Sounds about right.
At least no one would have to rush in fleeing the army.
How's it going,
Kaduntress?
Hi, Kaduntress! And he's
Ray,
back again.
yeah, Ray says the police hired the Shredder to stop this guy, right? They did all the footwork to oh God, Ray. You son of a bitch.
Really?
Yes, he really had to go make a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle joke.
All right. On to let's move on with some cringe, shall we? Wash our. I mean, that was kind of cringy, but you know.
Well, if we're gonna go on to cringe, we have doctors find 4 bees in a woman's eyes, feeding on her tears. Okay, the noise is kind of cute. In Taiwan, what was originally thought to be an eye infection turned out to be something far worse.
Nope, let me know when this one's over.
Okay, I'll let you know. Instead of treating an eye infection, doctors at the University Hospital in Taiwan were shocked to find 4 bees embedded in the eyes of a 29-year-old Taiwanese woman named He. That's a weird name. The bees were reportedly feeding on her tear ducts under her swollen eyelids. He had come into the hospital after experiencing severe pain in her eye.
You don't say.
Oh, yeah. The hospital's head of ophthalmology, Dr. Hung Chi Ting, goddamn Asian names, said at a press conference that such bees nest near graves and in fallen trees, so the chances of coming across them while hiking in the mountains are high. He confirmed she was at a family member's grave pulling out weeds when she felt as if she got dirt into her eye, and flushed it out with water. After that, he said she started feeling a stinging pain and teary eyes. I saw something that looked like insect legs, so I pulled them out from under a microscope slowly, one at a time, without damaging their bodies.
Oof.
Good news, he did not rub her eyes too much, which officials say could have worsened the state of her inflamed corneas. Worst case scenario would have been blindness. The sweat bees, as they're called, were reportedly removed alive.
Ew.
He was discharged and is expected to make a full recovery. Sweat bees are small and known for their metallic coloring, mostly in shades of green, blue, and bronze, according to Terminex. These bees are not typically aggressive, and a sting only usually occurs if the bee is pressed against the skin. More than 1,000 species of sweat bees in U.S., Canada, and Central America. Nearly 50 alone are found in Florida.
So in some weird way, this was a Florida Man story.
In a weird way.
It all comes back to Florida Man. It's no joke. That made my eyes water.
We're done. Let her know we're done.
Oh God, the jokes. Alright, hold on. Some of them. Let's see. Ray says Wren, she couldn't see because of all the bees. I'm sure this woman didn't get jealous of other women. All boobs were bees in her eyes. God damn it, Ray.
When clubbing, she didn't need to get drunk to feel buzzed.
Ugh.
Safe. You can come back now. It's safe.
I am back. Yes, I know.
Oh, you
wimp,
missed the bee
but
story.
I've already been dreaming about ants for the past 2 nights, and
Fair enough.
no, I don't want to do that with bees.
You don't need a nightmare about bees.
No. Welcome back, Auntie. Thank you, Ghost Dog.
So, I think the next science thing, since we were talking about bees, we might as well carry on with the trend and talk about hairy animal species.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Yes.
Hairy animal species are more likely to have smaller testicles, study finds. A study claims primates which have long hair or beards are likely to have smaller testicles than those who struggle to grow hair.
You should do this in sexy Ishtar voice too. Give the chat what they really want.
Primates with bushy beards or long hair may have smaller testicles than species who struggle to grow facial hair, suggests a new study. A team from the University of Western Australia and the University of Zurich studied the gonads of more than 100 different male primates as part of their research. According to the scientists, male primates fall victim to an evolutionary problem with their genitals. Essentially, the study found that males of species can either be well endowed with large balls or are instead well adorned with hair. Researchers concluded that it's hard to be both of these things, as it just takes too much energy to do. Primatologist and study co-author Dr. Cyril Gruder explained that they chose to study primates as their testicle size can vary enormously, with the smallest being the size of peppercorns and the largest comparable to a tennis ball. The size, he says, is factor linked to male appearance and the primate's desire to father offspring. He said, but not all of them can have what they want. So how do they succeed? Well, they can produce so-called badges of status, showy ornaments that help their bearers control access to females by intimidating other males. And if the males cannot keep others off of their females, they can win by producing a lot of sperm to swamp those from their rivals. He continued, we found the same thing with ornamentation. Some species sport flamboyant accoutrements such as beards, manes, capes, and cheek flanges, and various shades of color in their faces and fur. Others are pretty drab and look more like your Mr. Average. This finding clearly shows that you can be well adorned or well endowed, but it's hard to be both.
There you go, some testicle ASMR.
Just for you, Antoine. Just for you.
It wasn't necessarily about humans, Anti-Hero. It was about primates.
Well, there are some articles that are linking it towards humans.
Oh, well. But it does explain why Schmeckles has such a high-pitched voice. I feel better. Well, let's go from talking about small-testicled apes to, well, 3 naked women. Case that began with 3 naked women at a rest stop ends in high-speed chase in Florida.
Kadunt, what are you doing? And do you have friends with you?
She almost killed a man. You are a little too drunk. And yes, Kadant, darling, what can I do for you? Okay, we'll have girl time tomorrow when you're sober.
$5 from Ghost Dog, purr for your co-host, and love the sexy voice. So apparently they love the sexy voice. Ishtar, you're going to have to do it more.
I'll be more than happy to do it for anyone who asks me. Whatever makes their night warmer. Yum. I'm reading that in the...
It is the song. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The song is playing in my head as I'm reading this.
Alright, 3 women in Florida are behind bars after lounging au naturel at a rest stop, and then leading Pasco County officers on a high-speed chase that ended when one of them tried to attack officers with a pink baseball bat. Authorities said, "This is a goddamn movie. Someone write this down." Someone reported seeing the women Wednesday morning in their birthday suits at a rest area off Interstate 75. Remarkably, that's exactly where Antihero was early that morning.
Antihero, is there something we need to know?
A Florida Highway Patrol officer who responded to the call said that when she questioned the naked suspects, one of them said that they had showered and were air drying.
What a snarky response.
The 3 women said that they had been staying at a relative's house but left after an argument. Having nowhere else to shower, they said they used soap and water to bathe on the grass outside of the rest stop building. The women did get dressed before speaking to the state troopers, but then got into a white 2009 Nissan Sentra and drove away before the questioning had finished. Troopers tracked down the vehicle and to a convenience store parking lot. One trooper tried to arrest one of the women when she left the store, but her colleague appeared to purposely drive the car at the officers, authorities reported. At the same time, another woman got out of the car with a pink baseball bat and tried to hit the officer, according to an officer's account in the Smoking Gun. The Nissan again drove away and was pursued by police. Authorities said they eventually stopped the car using spike strips. As officers busted out the windows of the car, the women interlocked arms to keep from being arrested. The woman was... Yes?
Bye, Cinder Shadow.
Bye.
Have a good night, Cinder.
You were saying?
Yeah, the women were shocked with tasers before taken into custody and sent to Pasco County Jail, where they remained behind bars as of Friday evening, according to jail records. The 3 women, identified as Oasis McLeod, Janiah McLeod, and Cecilia Young, now face charges of fleeing to elude police, 3 counts of resisting arrest, 2 counts of aggravated assault, and 3 counts of lewd behavior.
Oasis.
Yes, her name is Oasis.
Ugh.
It's giving your kid a stripper name ahead of time.
Well,
At least it just cuts down on the need to actually come up with something.
At least you know where she's going.
So you're the stripper named Diamond, right? What's your real name? Oasis? No, seriously, what's your real name? Oasis? You were born to be a stripper, weren't you?
No, that's the one. It's like, what's your stripper name? Stacy. That's boring. What's your real name? Well, my parents decided to name me Oasis. This is my sister Stormy. And it's like, eventually go down the list and it's like, okay, we get it. Your parents gave you the stripper names and now you use normal ones as your stripper names.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. McLeod,
Wow.
Young and McLeod, a Florida folk band, Boobs on the Run, and Bearded Glam Showdown are the biggest hits.
Not wrong.
All right. I think you got one more cringe article, right, Wren?
One more. This one just kind of pissed me off because of course, the advice columnist had to take the woman's side. A woman is urged to break up with her fiance after jeweler reveals her ring is fake.
Look, diamonds are fucking expensive, all right?
Yeah, but if he told her that it was fake, or that it was real, and it turned out to be fake, then she lied to him.
He gave
Or
it
he
to
lied
her.
to her.
No. The guy gave it to her. The woman assumed it was real, like a diamond, and found out later was a CZ. But the guy said nothing about it being real when she was proposed to.
He just let her assume.
He proposed to her with something he could afford.
Yeah.
She went, "Oh my God, it's a massive ring."
How much is it worth?
Yeah. And then went, "How much is it worth?" and took it to a jeweler. I think the guy's dodging a bullet.
Probably.
When it comes to buying an engagement ring, there's still a few outdated rules kicking about. Some people believe you should spend 3 months' salary on one, and there's a slightly more moderate 1 month rule. I think you should only go with what you can afford.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
There's a lot of pressure to shell out for an expensive diamond ring, but one man perhaps should have been a bit more straight up with his fiance about the one he presented her with. The mortified bride-to-be revealed to a vice columnist, Natalie Bensegava, that her fiance had lied about her ring. And she discovered the lie thanks to a jeweler who pointed out that rather than being a diamond, her ring sported a cubic zirconium, which, FYI, is just a lab-grown diamond. Same thing.
No.
Different place.
A cubic zirconia is not a lab-grown diamond. Cubic
No,
zirconia is actually
very
glass.
different.
Well, still, it looks about right, so why would you care?
You're not wrong.
Because CZs, do not look like a real diamond. Not when you put it next to a real diamond. At a certain level, you can blatantly tell that they're not real diamonds. They are much softer than diamonds and much more easily damaged, unlike a real diamond. Lab-grown diamonds are chemically the exact same as a natural diamond. They're just grown in a lab. Yeah.
Well, either way, I'm not picky with jewelry, so I wouldn't give a shit if I got handed something with CZs. It'd be like,
They're
shiny.
There are some very good CZs that are very close to having the right appearance. Swarovski is expensive, but there's a good reason for it. They're probably one of the best makers of CZs. Moissanite is also another very good near diamond imitation.
So what you're saying is that I should make sure you're moissanite.
Oh.
Not after that pun, you're not.
Yeah, quote from the one, "I was truly embarrassed. My fiance had surprised me with a ring. Bitch, he actually proposed. Why the fuck are you complaining? And cannot believe he did this. When I confronted him about it, he just shrugged it off, saying, real diamond that size would have cost him a small fortune, and what's the difference anyway? He further angered her by telling her that her friends will never know. I don't think he understands why I'm upset," she continued. "I'm upset because I feel lied to. I am ready to call the whole thing off. What do you think I should do?" I think the guy should run.
Yeah,
because
I think you should run.
Yeah.
If a guy proposed to you and surprised you, i.e., you weren't prodding and he went, "I'm going to marry that girl." Why does the shiny really matter?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Natalie agreed that this was a shaky start to married life and revealed that she'd been edging towards the door, filing this under bride-to-be's worst nightmare. Having your engagement ring turn out to be a fake is not exactly the way you want to start a life together. Fending off accusations that the bride is being shallow and materialistic, she went on, "This is a symbol of your love and commitment to one another. To have it be fake may make you feel as though your relationship is a fraud too."
It's not starting the life together. That's the thing. If he's in a serious relationship with her, they've already started their life. This is just a show of commitment.
The wedding ring is the really important ring. The engagement ring is more of an announcement to everybody and a gift to the woman as gratitude for thanking her. That was that was the original idea behind it, was to show your appreciation for this woman who has, agreed to marry you, and to show everyone else, hey, look at this amazing thing because she said yes. That it was that sort of thing. I have no problems with people using a CZ as an engagement ring if you don't have a lot of money to start out with, or you're starting your life to, you're buying a house instead of investing in a diamond or even a colored stone. My first engagement ring was a garnet. It was beautiful. I still have it. So there's nothing wrong with it, but you have to be upfront with your partner that, hey, this is a CZ. This is not a real diamond.
I would go venture, because the way the woman's spinning it is kind of like, I'm reading in between the lines a little. She has to know he doesn't have the money for a real diamond. Also, people's comments, comments under it's like, he allowed her to go get the ring insured. I have a feeling she went to go get the ring insured herself without telling him.
Well, look at Vin. What Vin said could also have been the plan. Vin's dad bought his mom a fake. She knew then. 10 years later, on their anniversary, he bought her a real one.
Well, and it's also, he could have just bought what he thought, like, her style. He bought this thinking of her, going, I love this style. She'd love it too. And clearly, it's materialistic of her to think it's not real. But then again, my wedding band, which eventually I'll get fixed one day.
Okay, to be fair, you mentioned insurance. From my experience, jewelry insurance policies require written documentation from a jeweler that this is a real diamond, what the grade is, what the approximate replacement value is. There's this whole form that has to be written up to identify it, so that if something ever happens, it can be claimed, and you can't just go, oh yeah, my diamond was a $10,000 diamond when it was, $1,000 diamond. So she may not have actually gone to the jeweler with the intention of saying, hey, I want to find out how much this is worth. She could have gone to the jeweler because her insurance policy insisted on it.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, the comments, like, he tricked her. It's like, he might not have known she was insuring it. She might have done that as a precaution, on her end, but
which is smart of her.
Which is smart of her, but it doesn't mean he knew she was going to do that.
But at the same time, he was dishonest with her. He didn't tell her that it wasn't a diamond. He didn't tell her it was a CZ. And he really would have had to do is go, honey, I really want to marry you. I love you. I got you this ring. I can't afford a diamond right now, but I want you to have something beautiful to show off. When I can, I will replace it. I am willing to bet she would have gone along with it.
Yeah, he could have. I'm not saying he handled it perfectly.
No, he handled
He
that
didn't.
fucked up.
But I can see the guy. I guess maybe because I have too much of a guy logic. To me, my wedding band is actually a ring that belonged to my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a diamond in my wedding band. It's actually a piece of the Blackstone. I'll think of it later. Obsidian. It's a piece of black obsidian and a small little ring.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, because my ring's broken, the band broke a little bit. Because it's an old ring, I don't wear a wedding band much that often. Because to me, the ring is just a shiny thing. The relationship means more. So maybe I could see in his mind the relationship meant more than how much you spend on a piece of jewelry. So he doesn't get that mindset that the ring is all important. It's just a prop. It's not really important.
That's what the thing is, though. The ring is all important. It's become the important thing. It's no longer a symbol of, look, this is to show that, you know, she's agreed to marry me or anything like that. The ring now symbolizes it's just like Valentine's Day and Christmas. It's no longer about the meaning of what it originally was. Now it's bigger, better, shinier.
And
sorry. I'm going to disagree with you. Having sold and worked on many engagement rings, yes, you do get those people who are all about the ring, but the majority of the people who come looking for engagement rings are looking for something to celebrate and symbolize what they have.
Yes, that's what they're looking for, not the person receiving it.
Many of them actually come in with their significant others.
And see, those are the cute couples. Like, to me, in a way, I can get a disagreement over, you did tell me it was CZ, I feel embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've been with someone long enough to get engaged to them, I think by now you'd learn their budget.
I don't know. Not everybody talks about money during that section of things. She may know that he doesn't have a lot of money, but she probably doesn't know what his budget is. She probably doesn't know if he's been saving for it.
So Ray says, meaning your ring has a shiny thing forged in the fire of a volcano? That's so metal. Well, I don't think we're going to get to our last two articles. It is about that time, ladies. So we get to end on a debate.
Yes.
So thank you very much. So what have we learned today? We have learned that Florida Man likes putting pee in squirt guns. We also
don't forget, Nigeria is Africa's Florida Man.
Yes, Nigeria is Africa's Florida Man. Witches cause you to cut off your penis in dreams. We also learned that Vin and Mitzi like to donate a lot of goddamn money, and they want to help Ishtar get a better computer.
Yes.
What else? We learned that bees can inhabit your eyes.
No.
And there are 50 species of them in Florida, which is possibly also why they're crazy. And we also found out that primates, the more hair they have, the smaller the testicles. It has been a very, very interesting goddamn evening, to say the least.
Yes.
So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is MSNBC, my snarky news broadcasting channel. All of the news, none of the pants. My name, of course, is Antoine the Great, and I've been joined by my gorgeous co-hosts, Wren from Relations and Shitlords Anonymous.
Yes, it's me.
And Ishtar from her own Twitch channel, and where she plays Sarah on Army of Snarkness every Thursday, right here on Help of the Guildless.
Mitzi, Vin, thanks again. It's much appreciated. Good night, everybody.
Night.
So, I hope you join us next time where we go through all of the weirdest news of the week and try and make you laugh at the same time. Have a good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.